Hello everyone and welcome to Season 3 Streets of Wonder guide from Warlock PoV. Let's see what has changed since Shadowlands. The first boss, Zo'phex, is simpler than the last time as his rotating shield mechanic is gone. Most of the other abilities remain unchanged. Armed security makes him throw blades at random players, which spin on the ground. Try to bait them toward the walls to keep the center of the room clear for movement. Charged Slash is a wide frontal cone that one-shots anyone it hits. Impound Contraband disarms you, pacifying and silencing you until you retrieve your weapon. Picking it up grants you a haste buff for a short duration. The main threat is interrogation. Zo'phex will lock a player in a containment cell, then fixate on them. If he reaches them, they'll likely die. Anyone in his path takes heavy damage. If you're targeted, run far away from the boss to buy time for your group to kill the cell. If someone else is targeted, break them out. When the cell is destroyed, it explodes, dealing moderate group-wide damage. While imprisoned, use a defensive as the ticking damage is high and there's no better time to use it. The Grand Menagerie is a 3-phase boss encounter where each boss adds a new mechanic. The fight starts with Alcrux. He casts Gluttony on random players, causing AoE damage around them. When Gluttony expires, it jumps to another nearest player. Grip of Hunger pulls the group to the boss, followed by a ground slam, so move out when you get pulled. Finally, Grand Consumption drops 2 staggered waves of orbs. They take time to fall down, so you can safely move into the second wave's area while dodging the first. After some time, Acolyte will activate. His Purification Protocol afflicts 2 players with a dot that explodes upon expiration, heavily damaging anyone nearby. Use your Imp's Singe magic to dispel it and ease the pressure on the healer. Venting Protocol spawns volatile anima. These orbs deal massive damage and apply a stacking damage reducing dot. Avoid them unless you have Gluttony, in which case eat as many orbs as possible for a stacking damage buff. In the end, Myza will join the fight. She casts Chains of Domination, which slow you by 99% and deal ticking damage. Use Soulburn Demonic Circle to get rid of them. Lastly, her Whirling Annihilation pulls players in and damages anyone too close, so keep running in the opposite direction of the pull. The Postmaster is a high-intensity boss with heavy movement and frequent party-wide damage. The main mechanic is Unstable Goods. The boss throws explosive packages around the room. Pick them up and toss them into active delivery portals at room's edges. Active portals have a postcard tornado animation. If a package expires, it deals heavy group damage. Next ability is Hazardous Liquids. The boss throws a salvo of vials around the room that should be soaked. Each one inflicts a stackable, dispellable dot. Use your Imp to help clear it. Soaking vials prevent spill liquids, zones that deal high ticking damage and slow movement. You can't soak everything, but prioritize keeping the center of the room clear to avoid issues with package management. Fan Mail causes the boss to spin, dealing steady AoE to everyone. Finally, Money Order targets a random player and drops a large money pile after a short delay. The damage splits among all players in the circle, so if targeted, move to the tank. If not, help soak it. Myza's Oasis is a 2-phase fight that begins when each player picks up an instrument. As a Warlock, take either the trumpet or saxophone for better mobility. Both instruments give you an extra action button that lets you dash. Use that button to hit musical notes on the floor. Each note gives a stack of a haste buff, and at 12 stacks you get up tempo, which gives you a big boost to both haste and damage. This rhythm mechanic returns 2 more times. Once the boss arrives, you can occasionally get note to spawn again. Hitting them will refresh up tempo, and keeping this buff permanently becomes incredibly important as the key levels go up. After the first performance, a wave of enemies spawns. Both brawling and disruptive patrons can mostly be ignored and cleaved. Your main focus should be on Oasis security. It casts Menacing Shout, a group-wide hit that ignores armor. After your third musical performance, the boss will enter. He starts with a final warning, shielding himself. If you don't break the shield fast enough, the cast will go off and kill the group. Once the shield is broken, the cast becomes interruptible. Periodically, the boss pulls everyone toward him and applies suppression sparks. After a short delay, each spark explodes. Avoid stacking while you have this. He also casts Crowd Control, raising his shield and becoming immune from the direction it's facing. Then he fires a deadly frontal cone. Finally, much like Oasis security, the boss also casts Menacing Shout. Interrupt it or it's a wipe. Soasmi hasn't changed much since Shadowlands. The main thing to watch for is Shuri, an expanding wave of arcane energy cast at random location. If it touches you, it applies a strong dot. As a Warlock, you can dodge it easily with Demonic Circle. If that's on cooldown, use one of the 6 teleporters around the room. Each one sends you to its matching twin with the same symbol. At 70% HP, the boss splits the room in half with a wall. so Asmic can walk through it, but you can't. At 40% HP, the room splits again into 4 quadrants. One key mechanic to keep in mind is Double Technique. It's a very long cast that must be interrupted twice, or it's a wipe. Ideally, apply Curse of Tongues and let the cast go on as long as possible. While casting it, the boss won't use any other abilities or teleport around, making him a sitting duck. Finally, be aware of Phase Slash, which puts a short bleed on 3 random players. Use a defensive here, especially if your healer can't reach you because of the walls. The first mini-boss, Gate Warden Zo'mas, casts Radiant Pulse, which hits the whole group and leaves a dot. Custom security can be purged to remove Hard Light Baton, making life easier for your tank. Same goes for Hard Light Barrier from the support officer, which can also be interrupted. The second mini-boss, Portalmancer Zohan, also casts Radiant Pulse, but here you can LOS it completely. Also make sure to interrupt his Glyph of Restraint. In the Mailroom, overloaded Mailmentals apply Spam Filter to their allies, reducing damage taken. This can be purged. Market Peacekeepers cast Phalanx Field, redirecting all spells to themselves while taking greatly reduced magic damage. Use Hard CC to interrupt it. Commander Zophar tethers 2 players with a beam that pulls them together. If they touch, they get a strong dot. The old wall trick from Shadowlands no longer works, as the mini-boss now scatters mines that persist for a long time, so the tank needs to keep moving and kite him. During the Bazaar event before Myza's Oasis, whoever's carrying the payload becomes a priority target for Bazaar's Strongarm. He has hard-hitting melee abilities and will chase you down, so make sure to outrun him. And those are all the important mechanics you need to know to survive the mean streets of Tazavesh. If you found this guide helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. Also check out my other Season 3 dungeon guides and drop by on my Twitch and other social media. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching and goodbye.